These are the most popular types of Messianic Jews. Hello, Yids and Yidettes! My name is Mark Weinberg. I'm a Messianic Jew, I'm a rabbi in training, and welcome to Punk Yid's World.
There are three main groups of Messianic Jews. By Messianic Jews, I mean groups of Jews who believe that a figure is, in fact, the promised Jewish Messiah. Group number one.
Chabad Lubavitch.
Most of you probably know of Chabad Lubavitch as a Hasidic group that started a Kiruv movement to try to bring Jews in areas that are not as observant and try to encourage them to become more observant. But what many of you may not know is that many of them, up to even half of them, believe that their last living Rebbe, leader, is the Messiah. Most of them are not very spoken about it to try to not deter Jews from the organization. But many of them do believe that the last living Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, was in fact the Messiah. Ever since his death in the 90s, many Jews believe that he has either just gone into hiding or he will rise from the dead to finish his prophecies. There's also a minority group called the Elokists who believe that not only he was the Messiah, but he is divine in nature, and he is Yod Keh Vav Keh himself. Many of them do, in fact, believe that. It is a minority group, and most of them do not have that belief, but it does exist. Group number two, the Sabbateans. In the 1600s, there was a man named Shabbatai Tzvi who claimed that he was, in fact, the promised Messiah. It was a pretty popular movement in the 1600s. It was mainly centered in Turkey because that's where he lived, and many of them ended up converting to Islam, including Shabbatai Tzvi himself, because of the government at that time. There are still Sabbateans even today. Very few, but they still do in fact exist, mostly within Turkey. There are some in Eretz Yisrael, and there are even some here in America. Just like the first group, many of them believe that he will rise from the dead to continue his reign as Messiah.
Group number three.
These are the Jewish followers of Yeshua ben Yosef, also known as Jesus Christ. About 2,000 years ago, right before the destruction of the temple, there was a Kiruv movement that started. It started off as a Jewish movement, but instead of many Jewish people getting involved, many Gentile people ended up getting involved. Now, over 1 billion Gentiles are a part of this movement, now known as Christianity. While in the very beginning, it consisted of only Jewish members. But later on, after so many Gentiles took over the movement, it ended up being very anti-Jewish, especially during the Middle Ages. During the 1960s and 70s, many Jewish people began to come to faith in Yeshua, but did not want to join the church, which has historically been very anti-Semitic and anti-Jewish. So many of them came together and formed what we know today as the Messianic movement, which encouraged those Jewish followers of Yeshua to continue living Jewish lives as Yeshua himself commanded, as well as working with the church to help deconstruct the anti-Semitism that started many years ago. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like down below and to comment down below if you want to hear more about any of these Messianic movements.